been almost 10 years since I had first light through a new telescope. Welcome to SETI Astro. Well, I finally had a couple hours last night to get some first light and take some test exposures and see what my issues are, which I do have some, and I'll go over that. But I did add my third counterweight to shorten the length of the counterweight arm. That really helped damp down vibrations. And I slew to Sidar. I figure that's a nice bright star in Cygnus, kind of high in the sky. That's definitely going to show me if I have internal reflections or if, collimation's off or whatever, right? It's going to be a really bright star, and there's plenty of bright stars around it, so it should really expose any issues going on. I also didn't know how my old heavy-duty NEQ6 Pro mount would handle, almost 40 pounds of gear up there now. And if anything, it's tracking better with all the additional weight than with the refractor. So here is, an image from PhD guiding. Here's all my dithering happening. And I was down at like 0.42 arc seconds. Which is just amazing. You'd see how tight the error dots are over here. Like I said, even with the lighter refractor, I wasn't getting this good of guiding. So I guess it really does like the weight on these older, heavier duty mounts. Now I only took 12 exposures each of red, green, and blue, each one of which was 3 minutes long. I was going to, be looking for coma and spacing to the reducer and things like that. So let's go ahead and look at some of the raw stacks here. So here is my stack. I didn't even take flats, right? So without flats, I would say that's a pretty flat field right off the bat too. So pretty happy about that. I still got to take flats and stuff. But what I was looking for was coma, and I do have some coma. So my collimation is off a little bit, and I'll talk about that in a little bit too. That should be corrected now, but that's one of the main things I was looking for was coma. And then because of that, with my collimation being off, in the upper portion of the image where the axis of the optical axis actually lies up here somewhere, the stars are really nice still, really high up in the image, but because of that, at the very bottom of the image now I'm quite far off axis, and that means the reducer's off axis. So now you're starting to get weird shapes at the bottom of the image. The other thing that I found out too when I did the stack and I did the astrometric solution, I should be at 950 millimeters, and I was at about 936. So my spacing to the corrector is off a little bit too, about 10 millimeters, and that was due to the addition of a different adapter I needed to use for it. So I've also since corrected that since first light as well. So second light should be a much cleaner test, but even with that said, after applying Blur Exterminator is just amazing. The stars at the top, the stars at the bottom, like even over in the extreme corner, Blur Exterminator just it's magic with star aberrations. So I decided to go ahead and just give it a go. Let's process the image. Again, it's not much data at all. Here was the red channel. I did crop it in a little bit to help, since I didn't take flats, to make sure that we could remove the gradient more successfully. And here's where the red ended up. Now the green had some additional halo from the green filter, which was interesting. The other thing I noticed is I don't really see the micro lensing reflections that I saw with my refractor too. So I don't know necessarily if that was micro lensing reflecting off the reducer I was using with the refractor, or if it's going to present itself more in narrowband, or if this is just a better combination with my camera and the new coma corrector. I don't know, but there is some halo on the green, but I didn't see that micro lensing that the ASI 1600 was really known for around bright images, especially Sadir. And then here's the blue. Again, excited to see that, the stars are just tiny little normal stars, and that was definitely not the case with my refractor. So I ended combining them all. I ran SPCC on it. SPCC graphs were amazing. I haven't even seen that good of results with any of my other OTAs, not the Celestron C8 or the Orion Acro. Nice straight lines. Almost all the dots were in perfectly straight lines, kind of at 45-degree angles. It was just amazing. So after running SPCC, I did just a statistical stretch on everything, kind of enhanced the dust columns there a little bit. And I will say, for a first light with only about 90 minutes worth of data, no narrowband, this is just all broadband, I gotta say this was a pretty successful first light, even with the collimation and my misspacing to the coma corrector. I'm pretty happy about it. I think my big misstep during my initial collimation was I didn't collimate my collimator. So I looked online. There's plenty of guides for it. I ended up clamping it to a piece of landscaping timber with the 2-inch to 1 1/4 inch adapter there to hold it securely. And then I shot the laser down the whole length of the garage and rotated the collimator over here and marked it over at the far end, and was able to adjust the collimator in quite a bit. It was I needed to move it about 1 inch at that distance. I don't know if that's bad or good, but I was able to definitely improve that. Then after collimating the collimator, my laser dot on the secondary was low. It was just by the just south of the red center ring there, so I recentered it in there. And then once I had the secondary re-centered, I went ahead and centered the primary, and now no matter how I rotate the collimator in the eyepiece holder, it's right in the middle. So I am expecting much better collimation and no coma for second light. So I know there hasn't been a lot of reviews out there on any of these iOptron imaging newts. So I hope this helps some people out there. I'm very excited about this, and especially now that I know that my collimation was a bit off. That should, greatly improve that little bit of coma I was seeing, and adjusting the spacer to your coma corrector is going to be important. So I'm like I said, I'm just using the calculated focal length when I did the plate solve, and my back spacing was too far, so I had to bring that in a little bit. And I'm really excited for getting out there. I have my robotic focuser, the iOptron EAF, come in tomorrow, so I should be able to get that all hooked up and be able to use that as well. I also have a tilt plate adapter coming just in case. I do have some tilt on the ASI 1600, which may have been causing some of that additional star distortion at the bottom of the image. But before I put that plate adapter on, I'm definitely going to see just how recollimating everything properly affects it, and correcting the back spacing to the coma corrector. I hope this helps some people. I'm pretty excited about a new telescope. I got a whole nother week of rain ahead of me now, though. I hope everybody else is having clear skies. Please comment, like, and subscribe.